Welcome to another episode of Preparing for the Unexpected. I'm your host, Alex Fullick, and as always, we like to talk about things related to resilience, risk management, business continuity, anything that helps you, your organization, or your community prepare for, respond to, and overcome adverse situations. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please feel free. You can find me on LinkedIn. I am the only Alex Fullick there. I'm really easy to find, and I do respond to everything I get. Today, we have an interesting topic. We're going to look at risk management, but we're going to look at it from an insider view. And we're going to find out what all that means later on, because I'd like to welcome back for his fifth episode, Daman Sood. Daman, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here, Alex.
It's great to have you back here. And as I said, we're going to talk about safeguarding organizations from insider threats. Now, I know this is your fifth appearance, but I haven't actually asked you in a while what it is you do. And I'm sure we probably got a lot more new listeners and viewers. So could you take a moment, just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thanks, Alex. So it's about 4 decades journey in the industry, and 2 decades out of that in what we now call a resilience, but it started with the business continuity management. I've been a practitioner. I've dirtied my hands myself. I've done it myself. And then the last 12, 15 years have been as a trainer and consultant in business continuity, risk, crisis, resilience, relatively new operational resilience and organizational resilience also. I have some passions, so BCM or resilience is a passion. Writing is a new passion. So I have, in less than 3 years, I have published 8 books. All are around resilience. A trainer, consultant, as I said, on top of that, tester, assessor, auditor, speaker. I'm attempting to be a mentor, coach, and guide also recently.
Well, I'm glad to have you here today. And I took your organizational resilience course, what was it, a year and a half ago? I guess something
It
like
was
that.
a,
You
it
know,
was a good
wa-
experience. Yes.
it was an interesting experience because I remember I was the one who had to be, what was it, all through the night because you're in India. So I was all
That's
midnight to
personal
10 o'clock.
resilience, Alex.
Yep,
Yes.
but it was good. It was a great course, and I learned a
Thank you.
lot. So thank you very much for that. As I said at the beginning, the article you had published on, I think it was December 25th, Leadership, Trust, and Risk Management, Safeguarding Organizations from Insider Threats. It's a great article. There's a lot of interesting information. I really like the perspective you give on this. So my first question is going to be simply, what is insider risk management?
It's an interesting one, Alex. Sort of those 4 decades, perhaps first 5, 6 years, I would admit I was not doing risk management. But after that, I have been doing in various capacities as project leader or project manager or program manager, XYZ. In BCM, nothing is away from a risk. Every step is towards a risk. So, specially dedicated 2 decades around this. But I would admit that I knew the term insider, but perhaps I've never understood the term insider risk management. So to answer this question, what is insider risk management? Simply it is same as any risk management, but specially focus is on insiders. So anyone who is in the organization could will pose a risk. And when we start identifying, evaluating, and managing that risk, that practice or process or management domain is insider risk management.
So who could that be within the organization? Are we talking, um, well, I'll let you answer that. Who are we talking inside an organization?
So anyone who is inside the organization is that insider. So all employees for sure. But we need to go a little deep that a visitor, a client, a vendor, or supplier who comes in your organization and knows about your organization has access to some of the information. That person is an insider. There is an organization called NPSA, National Protective Security Authority in the UK. It defines it differently, and I would like to read that. A person who exploits or has the intention to exploit their legitimate access to an organization's assets for unauthorized purposes, which means there has to be a person who has access to some information and that then has intentions to exploit that knowledge information in unauthorized way.
So
That person will be called insider.
could that be an employee as well? Because I know the
Yeah.
examples you gave, visitor, clients, third parties. Could that be an employee?
First one is employee. So
Okay.
I said, whoever is inside the organization, employees are the first people and they have access. Those accesses may be different. You
Mhm.
may have access to more information than me. We both work for the same organization, but we both can pose that risk of insider to the organization.
Now you got me thinking, is this an employee who's disgruntled or left the organization who still has access or both?
Great. Both ways, actually. When I am in the organization, I'm up, or I have the chance to pose that risk to the organization. And truly, you are right in saying when you have brought in this term disgruntled. So we are going deep. How does this happen? I'm an employee, have been working for the organization have been paying me for my services. Then why would I pose a risk to the organization? I may be a disgruntled employee. Yes. So when we start going deep into this, how do we manage this risk? These points keep coming in. We should avoid having any disgruntled employee.
Yeah,
As
that's
simple
the
as that.
goal.
Yeah. And then you said, when I am in the organization, in employment, or even after I have left, yes, there is a possibility. Well, the process would say it is so common sense, if I would say, and we have discussed this earlier also, that I would say business continuity, resilience, organizational resilience, operational excellence, all is common sense. But we have a tendency to miss this because we are human beings. That's why we need to manage all this. So I've left most likely on happy grounds, but not necessarily. So a disgruntled employee can be during the employment, but it can continue beyond also. Common sense is the moment I'm leaving the organization, all my accesses are revoked. But there may be a mistake at the end. Even if you remove all my accesses, theoretically, I have to return all assets to the company while I'm leaving. But practically, there is something which is left here for sure. Even if I have not kept some papers with me, some documents with me, I've returned everything or I've destroyed everything from my machine or otherwise the hard copies. But there's a lot here and I
Mhm.
can use it against the company. That is still an insider risk management, even if I have moved out of the company. So, quickly, I would like to say when we are saying this is insider people, so human risk management, business continuity management, insider risk management go hand in hand. We need to take care of people and not only during the employment, but beyond also. And that is a big challenge. Daman is not with the organization, but we still need to think of Daman.
You have an interesting point there about we give back our equipment, we lose our accesses, but a lot of information is still in our heads. So we can
Yes,
still we're kind of still in the organization,
yes,
mentally, and we can still
yes,
do damage even without,
yes.
corporate equipment and it's been shipped back to
Right.
whoever.
Exactly.
That can still happen.
Exactly.
You can still have
Yes.
that's still a risk to you.
Yes. Yeah.
What about employees that maybe have access to things they don't even know they have access to, and they have they accidentally cause some problems? Is
Yes.
that a risk we need to look at?
For sure. Yes. So as we talk in other domains also, there's something that I know, and there's something that others know, I do not know. They know I know. And if there are ill intentions, those may be at my end, and we can take that case. No, no, I'm fair and fine, honest. But someone else may have such ill intentions to exploit the knowledge that I've got about the company that I've left.
Hmm.
There's an interesting case going on in India currently, for about a month, I would like to say. Two big IT companies in India. A senior person has left one and joined the other one. And this old company has filed a suit against that person. They are in the court now that you had some information which you have started using there. And
Mm.
that's not acceptable to us. A real case happening on the ground.
I've heard a couple of cases like that, and in some instances, I've heard where people on that level cannot work at a like-minded company or the same industry
Right,
for a couple of
right.
months or something like that, but
Exactly, exactly.
is that, does that hold true in India too? And
Yes.
people didn't do
So
that?
we do, right. So this is one step towards managing it. What mitigations that we write contracts in contract or NDA that I write. It's mentioned that the money you shouldn't be joining a competitor
Mm,
for year 2, 10, something like that. But I believe it's difficult to enforce this. Or maybe at senior level, at that level, we take it easy also that he's such a senior person, he should have managed it anyway. Those were the expectations.
mhm.
So either I do not utilize that incorrectly, the information that I had about the old company, or the old company doesn't go deep in fighting the way this one case I am narrating has happened.
I,
Well, you and I may not have access to full information about the case. That
mhm.
what is that information? Maybe it is very serious. Maybe it's about their trade secret, and
Yeah.
perhaps that person is utilizing that in the new company. That's why the old company decided to fight the suit. Otherwise, most of these are perhaps ignored also. Or we may not even come to know that the man is utilizing some information that he had about the other company.
Mhm. Well, that got me thinking now, is would corporate espionage kind of fall under this risk category?
Exactly, exactly. So there are various degrees or variants of how what happens in this domain when we call it insider risk management. I may be an honest person. Assume it's my first job in life. So you have done whatever checks you wanted to do about me and then have offered me employment. So far, so good. I may become a bad employee after joining. This is possible. And there may be multiple reasons for that. I'm not taken care of by the company. I feel so. Company may not feel so. And then my their dissatisfaction may increase. So there are two terms here to be discussed. My dissatisfaction increases, so I can do some act like that.
Mhm.
Or my disaffection with and for the company increases for various reasons once again. And due to that disaffection, due to my disaffection with the company, my loyalty has gone down and I may fall into trap knowingly myself or someone else can use me. So you use that term corporate espionage. Yes, a competitor may like to get in touch with me or I become an easy target for a competitor to exploit me, my excesses against my current employer. It's possible, yes.
That's interesting viewpoint there, because we started off talking that it was somebody internal,
Yes.
and but that somebody internal can be manipulated by somebody external.
Exactly. That's the word manipulated. I maybe can be manipulated by someone else. I didn't want to do it, but
Mhm.
someone else has some motives, and that can be competitors. That can be some terrorist groups also against some organization. It may not be a corporate organization, it may be a government organization will be under the target of a terrorist group. This could be media also, and this could be some special interest groups also who may like to be in touch with such employees or who are in lookout hunting such people looking around who is a disgruntled employee who could be our target. And there may be some motives behind me falling into trap.
Right. That's interesting that you mentioned. Could be a terrorist group, could be media
Yes,
activists. It could be anybody manipulating somebody
yes,
within your organization. And
exactly,
like you said, I'll use me as an example. I may not even know I'm being manipulated.
exactly possible.
On that note, we've come to the end of our first segment. Today, we are talking with Daman Sood about safeguarding organizations from insider uh, risks and insider threats.
Yeah.
So we will be right back. If you like that video, thumbs up. If you didn't like that video, thumbs down. But leave me a message and let me know your thoughts. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, stay prepared, everybody.